Today, we're going to take a closer look at the semiconductor market, more importantly, the manufacturing process of this market. And we're going to take a closer look at two companies, AMD and TSMC. Some people might be like, Jose, what does AMD have to do with manufacturing? And there are some important updates that you may want to know. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for a lot of great links, and also my tech channel where I post tech news. So let's get started.
I do want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
So first, we'll start off with Semi reports that the global fab equipment spending is expected to reach record $109 billion in 2022. And this is going to be an increase of 20% year over year. And this would be the third consecutive growth following a 42% surge in 2021. And Semi also reports that investments in 2023 is expected to remain strong. For those not familiar with Semi, they connect more than 2,500 member companies and 1.3 million professionals worldwide to advance that technology and business of electronic designs and manufacturing. Here we can kind of see the fab equipment spending over the past few years. 2019 it was roughly about 55 billion, and look, just till to 2022 is forecasted to be somewhere around 109 billion and has 2x in a matter of a few years. And you can see this constant growth. Right now for 2023 they forecast about 109 million, so not much growth there. But again, I do believe these are some crazy numbers compared to where they were a few years ago. And it does bode well for not just the manufacturing companies, but also semiconductor companies in general. So the report also shows kind of equipment spending by region. The number one is Taiwan, which is increasing investments by 52% year over year to 34 billion, followed by Korea that is investing 25.5 billion, a 7% raise. China is actually seeing a 14% drop from its peak last year and is down to 17 billion. Europe, Middle East is forecast to be one of their highest spending of 9.3 billion, and that is up 176% year over year. They do mention that for 2023, so for the upcoming year, Taiwan, Korea, Southeast Asia are also expected to register record high investments in 2023. United States has increased their expending by 13% year over year, and they did 19% year over year in 2022. So we can see that all regions are expecting to increase their kind of semiconductor manufacturing equipment investments. And it does seem like right now regions and countries want to become a little bit less dependent on certain regions. But we can see Taiwan is still the leader here and is still increasing its investments dramatically. So an important company to follow here in the manufacturing market would be TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, ticker TSM. So right now the stock is sitting at about $88, and we can see from its 52-week peak, the stock is down 37%. I'd want to say I personally believe the semiconductor market is giving some great opportunities for the long term of things. Right now, this company does pay a dividend of about 2% yield. TSMC is forecasting the revenue growth of about 30% in 2022 after hitting a roughly 25% in 2021. So it does seem like there is no real slowdown in the manufacturing market right now, but that's because certain markets are offsetting certain slowdowns. So TSMC is definitely seeing a slowdown in more consumer-based products like mobile devices, like phones, but they are seeing an increase in more kind of enterprise and cloud provider spending, with things like data center chips increasing. And also in the automotive market, as electric vehicles need more chips and is becoming a more popular product for consumers. Like we mentioned before, it's not only the demand of their products, but TSMC has a lot of pricing power right now. So they continue to do price hikings year over year right now as demand remains high. And this is a pretty cool chart that I wanted to share. Here are the top 10 TSMC customers. I obviously knew that Apple was a big player, but I didn't think it was that big. They make up about 23.9% of total revenue in 2021. But number two is AMD with about 10%, and Qualcomm number 3 for 8%. And I do want to say both those kind of surprised me. I knew they were high, but I didn't know they were that high on the list. All right, so next we're going to take a closer look at AMD. This is a company I follow a lot and I'm super bullish. I recently just did a video on their analyst day. Make sure to check it out here where I do a little bit more explanation about the future growth of this company. We can see AMD right now is up about 1%, sitting at $87.82. Again, I do believe this is very attractive price points. From its 52-week high, the stock is down 45%. Again, this is a company that's dealing a lot with data centers, and this is a market that I believe will help offset some of the decrease we might be seeing in consumers. And then once consumers eventually in the future pick back up, then this is going to be a huge powerhouse machine. So I did learn something new today about AMD. I did not know that they had certain businesses in the manufacturing process of chips, but they do. So AMD does have a subsidiary company, AMD Micro Electronics, which is in the middle of construction of a 452 million manufacturing plant. The plant will allow AMD to expand the chip packaging side of its business. And especially now that AMD is kind of doing multiple chiplets on a package, this is something that's very, very important. Again, I was unfamiliar that AMD had this kind of business, so I dug a little bit deeper. So TFAMD is a flip chip powerhouse that offers various packages of assembly and test. And for those that are not familiar, packaging is not the actual packaging of putting a chip inside a box and shipping it out. Packaging in the semiconductor market is more like putting the chipsets together. So it's kind of the stacking of chips, and it's very important for the overall technology. We can see they kind of show a timeline. And right now, TFAMD produces high volume of advanced 7 nanometer multi-chip modules and single chip modules. And we do know that AMD's most of their chips right now are 7 nanometers, and in the future they are going to progress into the 5 nanometer with the nice next generation of their chips, and I'm pretty sure TFAMD will be a huge asset for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick update on AMD and TSMC. I am bullish on both companies right now, and even though I do believe prices can continue to go down and the consumer market will affect revenue to some sort, I do believe some of the other revenue segments that they have, like data centers, will be a huge push forward. And then once everything in the world in the future comes back to being normal, I do think that the powerhouse that both the consumer market and the enterprise market will provide great returns for investors. So again, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.